that will destroy you. Unfortunately, many people who have been abused by narcissists waste a lot of time trying to save the narcissist's inner child, even though narcissists don't have one. There is no inner child, only an inner demon that preys on people, weaponizes their emotions, and causes severe harm. This is what we're discussing today, the futile attempt to save something that doesn't exist. Hello and welcome back to the Narcissist Revealed channel. There is no such thing as a narcissist's inner child, and you should not try to save it, no matter how compelled you feel. Discover why in today's episode. If this topic interests you, please subscribe before we begin. Your subscription helps raise awareness about narcissistic abuse. Narcissists don't have an inner child that can be saved. It's true. A narcissist doesn't have an inner child that can be saved, helped, recovered, or healed. How do I know that? How can you be sure? Let's start by understanding how an inner child is formed before we explore why a narcissist can't heal an inner child. Individuals born into highly problematic environments often resort to extreme survival mechanisms. When your true self is ridiculed, you disconnect from it. With no space for genuine feelings, you transform into what the world demands for survival. For example, consider people-pleasing. Many become people-pleasers because their parents were strict, critical, and harsh. To gain approval, the child learns to please them, leading to a sense of inadequacy and diminished self-worth. When a child becomes a people-pleaser, they internalize the belief that something is fundamentally wrong with them because they don't receive unconditional love from their parents. To cope, they adapt, change, and unknowingly betray themselves. This process leads them to hide their shame and loneliness, disconnecting from their true selves. As adults, when they begin to understand their trauma, they may engage in inner child work. They look within, acknowledge the abandoned and shamed parts of themselves, and work to heal. This journey involves recognizing the problem, reconnecting with the inner child, confronting the trauma, and integrating it into their lives to stop the cycle of people-pleasing. Narcissists, however, don't follow this path. Why? Because they avoid anything that makes them vulnerable. Being in touch with an inner child means embracing vulnerability, which narcissists despise. They hide, suppress, and destroy anything that makes them feel weak. To maintain a facade of strength, they sacrifice their true selves for a fabricated persona, creating a false reality where they are invincible. It sounds philosophical when I say sacrifice their true self, but what I really mean is that they construct a fake self by hiding their very human side. They refuse to accept their flaws or weaknesses, concealing anything human-like and exaggerating traits they don't truly possess. While trauma has already fractured their true self, making it irrecoverable in its entirety, it can still be rediscovered. However, a narcissist rejects this part of themselves completely, abandoning it altogether. *** real-life example. Venom ***. Consider Tom Hardy's role in the movie *Venom***. He gains strength, but at a cost, as the parasite takes control. Similarly, a narcissist lets an inner demon take over, seeking power while sacrificing their positive qualities and becoming less human. This entity replaces their real self, their inner child. When you attempt to save them, you're actually trying to save an inner demon, not an inner child, resulting in hate, pushback, and pain. If you are one of the fortunate few who catch a fleeting glimpse of a narcissist's true self, you might momentarily see their vulnerable side. They might share a brief story of pain or sadness, which could instill a false sense of hope. However, this window into their true self is short-lived. They quickly revert to their usual behavior. Their true selves are like dilapidated buildings beyond repair. People might stop by, take a look, and then move on. Their heart may beat, but they have no place to call home. You can care for them from a distance, but attempting to save them will only lead to losing yourself. With that, let's conclude this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, as always, let the healing begin and continue.
When faced with someone they perceive as too strong, narcissists resort to a variety of tactics to maintain control. Let's explore 9 maneuvers they employ when they find themselves unable to break your resolve. Brace yourself for a journey of empowerment as we dissect their strategies. 1. Gaslighting and evasion. Imagine you're confronting a narcissist about their actions, laying bare your thoughts. Instead of owning up to their behavior, they swiftly divert the conversation or shift blame onto you. This, my friends, is the art of evasion. Now, let's delve into the concept of gaslighting. Narcissists wield this tool to sow seeds of doubt in your perception of reality. They may distort facts, insisting that events unfolded differently from your recollection. Phrases like "that never happened" or "you're imagining things" serve to erode your confidence in your own memory, leaving you vulnerable to manipulation. Gaslighting and evasion are potent weapons in the narcissist's arsenal, enabling them to assert dominance and evade accountability. By redirecting your focus and sowing seeds of uncertainty, they seek to keep you off balance. But fear not. Armed with this knowledge, you can remain vigilant against their machinations, standing firm in your truth. Should you encounter these tactics, stand tall and resolute, unwavering in your conviction. Let no one sow seeds of doubt in your unwavering resolve. 2. Belittling and ridiculing. Picture this. Someone deliberately undermines the significance or value of your achievements, talents, or characteristics to diminish your sense of worth. The narcissist may resort to harsh remarks or sarcasm, aiming to assert their superiority and maintain control over you. When it comes to undermining, it's not just a casual jab, it's a calculated assault on your confidence and self-esteem. Sabotage tactics may include thwarting your progress, spreading falsehoods about you, or subtly finding fault in everything you do. Their aim? To instill doubt and showcase their dominance. So, how do you combat such tactics? First and foremost, recognize these maneuvers for what they are: covert attempts at manipulation and domination. Remember, your abilities and accomplishments warrant recognition and praise. Refuse to let the words or actions of a narcissist diminish your sense of self-worth. 3. Projection of insecurities. Surely, you've encountered individuals who seem to unload their burdens onto you at some point in your life, haven't you? Everyone grapples with their own imperfections, fears, and uncertainties, coping with them in unique ways. However, narcissistic individuals have a distinct approach to dealing with their insecurities. They project their fears onto others instead of confronting them head-on. Should you display strength in their presence, narcissists may project their flaws, low self-esteem, or feelings of inadequacy onto you. Unfounded blame or unwarranted criticism may ensue, serving as a means for them to evade introspection. How do you navigate interactions with such individuals? Simply remind yourself that you need not shoulder the burdens of others. There are challenges in life that are uniquely yours to face, and carrying the weight of someone else's insecurities isn't one of them. 4. Jealousy and undermining. Ever noticed how narcissists gauge their own worth based on your interactions with them? If they catch wind that you're associating with someone else, irrational jealousy and insecurity may rear their ugly heads. Their response? Attempts at manipulation and control. Expect a barrage of mean-spirited calls or texts aimed at sowing doubt about your decisions and the possibility of reconciliation. Another tactic in their arsenal? Sabotage. Narcissists may resort to damaging your reputation, stalling your progress, or downplaying your achievements, whether overtly or covertly. From spreading malicious rumors to inciting conflicts or actively working against you behind the scenes, their aim remains constant: to reassert control and bolster their own fragile egos. Remember, their acts of mischief and envy are not reflections of your shortcomings or failures but stem from their own insecurities and inability to gracefully accept your successes. Stay resilient, and you'll shield yourself from the harm they seek to inflict. 5. Triangulation. Ever been left scratching your head over a seemingly inexplicable situation? Enter triangulation, a manipulative tactic frequently employed by narcissists to serve their agendas. Picture yourself in a relationship or bond with someone, a partner, friend, or family member. Along comes the narcissist, introducing a third party into the equation. This third individual isn't introduced to foster open communication or strengthen trust. Rather, they're a pawn in the narcissist's game, designed to sow discord, insecurity, and rivalry. But how does triangulation benefit the narcissist? For one, it allows them to maintain control by positioning themselves between you and the third party, manipulating perceptions and interactions to keep the focus squarely on them. By instigating comparisons and competition between you and the third party, they effectively undermine your sense of self-worth, perpetuating a cycle of stress and unease that reinforces their dominance. 6. Emotional roller coaster, love bombing and hoovering. Ever been on an emotional roller coaster with someone? One moment, they're showering you with love and affection, making you feel like the center of their universe. But just as quickly, they vanish into thin air, leaving you bewildered and craving their validation. These are classic tactics employed by narcissists known as hoovering and love bombing. Through these manipulative methods, narcissists aim to assert control over you and secure your love and attention. Love bombing involves overwhelming you with affection and attention, while hoovering entails alternating between intense love and sudden withdrawal. By exploiting your emotional vulnerability and desire for connection, narcissists create a dynamic where they hold all the power. Recognize these behaviors for what they are: strategies to keep you ensnared in a toxic relationship. Reclaim control by arming yourself with awareness and safeguarding your mental well-being against these deceptive tactics. 7. The silent treatment, ignoring and discarding. Picture this. You're in a relationship with a narcissist, and suddenly, they go radio silent. They ignore your calls and messages, leaving you feeling invisible, unworthy, and desperate for their attention. This tactic, known as the silent treatment, is designed to exert control by inflicting emotional pain and fostering a sense of insecurity. Narcissists employ this cruel method to cut off communication and emotional support, leaving you feeling isolated and insignificant. They discard the emotional connection you shared, treating you as though you're disposable. Don't be fooled by their manipulation. While it may be difficult, recognize that their actions cannot define your self-worth. Instead, focus on cultivating self-love and resilience from within. If necessary, sever all ties and grant yourself the time and space needed to heal and reclaim your sense of identity. 8. Manipulation mastery, exploitation and coercion. Buckle up for a harsh reality check. Narcissists view manipulation and exploitation as essential as breathing. These individuals excel at wielding control over others' thoughts, emotions, and actions to satisfy their own desires. Employing an array of cunning techniques, their primary objective is to assert dominance and maintain an unequal power dynamic heavily skewed in their favor. Let's start with manipulation, the narcissist's piece de resistance. They employ a plethora of sophisticated tactics to sway your opinions, regulate your feelings, and direct your behavior, all in service of their own agenda. They stop at nothing to ensure they wield absolute authority over you. Then there's exploitation, a cornerstone of the narcissist's modus operandi. To them, you're not a unique individual deserving of respect, you're merely a means to an end. Shamelessly, they capitalize on your talents, resources, and assistance without reciprocation or genuine appreciation. In their eyes, you're just a pawn in their game of self-gratification. But hold on a moment. Remember always that you are deserving of respect and equitable treatment. Though narcissists may attempt to deceive you, never let their deceit erode your self-worth or breach your personal boundaries. Recognize that you possess the agency to safeguard your emotional well-being, liberate yourself from their pernicious influence, and take decisive action. Regardless of the depths of a narcissist's machinations, you are deserving of so much more. You are resilient and invaluable. Keep this truth close as you navigate the challenging journey toward freedom and survival. 9. Mastering the victim role. Ever heard of the victim card? Narcissists are masters at playing it, and they make it look effortless. But why do they gravitate towards this tactic? Well, for narcissists, wielding the victim card is a nifty way to evade accountability, sidestep consequences, and manipulate the emotions of those around them. By adopting the role of the victim or the injured party, they aim to elicit sympathy and support, making it challenging for others to challenge or question their behavior. So, how do we counter this cunning strategy? Establish and enforce firm boundaries. Refuse to be swayed by their tales of victimhood or to offer unwarranted sympathy or attention. Prioritize your own well-being and needs above all else. Additionally, invest your time and energy into relationships and activities that nurture your health and bolster your sense of self. Now armed with knowledge of the 9 tactics narcissists employ in response to your strength, you're ready for whatever comes your way. Want to delve deeper? Explore the unsettling methods narcissists use to lure you back in, or discover effective strategies to thwart their schemes. Embark on your next adventure by clicking here, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more empowering insights.
Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to our show dedicated to shedding light on narcissistic personality disorder and its impact on your life. Today, we're delving into a topic that many of you have been curious about. What unfolds when you part ways with a narcissist? Whether you made the decision to end the relationship or found yourself on the receiving end of their discard, followed by attempts to reel you back in, the dynamics post-separation are worth exploring. So, let's debunk a few prevalent misconceptions surrounding this scenario and uncover the reality of what occurs when you leave a narcissist. This discussion is relevant to all, whether you're navigating the healing journey from past experiences or seeking insights for the road ahead. Take a seat and let's delve into this crucial subject. There's a common belief that narcissists typically initiate breakups because their partners are oblivious to their true nature. However, there's a shifting paradigm. With greater awareness of narcissism and narcissistic personality disorder, more individuals are recognizing the behavioral patterns indicative of narcissists and opting to disengage sooner. Yet, there's still much ground to cover in disseminating this knowledge to a wider audience. Another prevailing notion is that narcissists swiftly move on to their next target, leaving their former partners to pick up the pieces. This narrative cuts deep, and understandably so. But let's address what should ideally transpire when you oust a narcissist from your life. There's a nuanced aspect to this scenario that often goes unexplored, and I'm here to shed light on it. Reflecting on this topic came to me after creating a short film exploring the most impactful actions one can take against a narcissist. Surprisingly, avoidance and departure rank quite high on that list. A comment on the film pointed out the perceived cruelty in such actions, and truth be told, they're absolutely right. It's a harsh reality. Leaving a narcissist is arguably one of the toughest things to do, yet it's something they themselves inflict upon others routinely. It's almost as if they expect to dole out pain, but never receive any in return. For those who have experienced the tumultuous ride of being with or abused by a narcissist, this truth hits hard. It's not merely about disregarding or exiting their sphere. It's a vital act of self-preservation. Remaining in an abusive dynamic, hoping for improvement, is a futile endeavor. Narcissism, in its essence, is a mental affliction. Now let's delve into the emotional landscape of a narcissist when faced with a breakup. Consider a close bond, akin to friendship. Walking away from such a connection represents a profound form of rejection. Even if they've previously initiated the breakup and subsequently sought reconciliation, being rebuffed in their attempt constitutes another form of abandonment. The emotional ramifications are multifaceted, and rest assured, they feel them keenly. In romantic entanglements, narcissists wield an uncanny ability to manipulate perceptions. They project an aura of superiority and dominance, subtly undermining the confidence of their partners. I recall instances when I felt overshadowed by someone's perceived greatness, without fully understanding why. It's as though they possess an invisible hold over us, dictating the dynamics of the relationship. Their cunning mind games sow seeds of self-doubt, creating an illusion of control. We often assume that narcissistic abusers simply move on to their next target without a second thought, leaving us behind as if we never mattered. Initially, they may not give us much consideration. They're too busy reveling in their sense of power and control. However, the narrative shifts drastically when we take the initiative to leave them behind and disrupt their carefully constructed world. Imagine you have commitments or plans that don't involve the narcissist, a work trip, perhaps, or a social engagement. Suddenly, their grand schemes are thrown into disarray. They despise it when you deviate from their directives. If you manage to break free for a while, they'll create obstacles to deter you, making your departure a nightmare. Even if you succeed in enjoying your time away, upon your return, you're met with an unsettling sense of anxiety. It's as if they're punishing you for daring to assert your independence. When you assert your autonomy and step away from their sphere of influence, they interpret it as a betrayal. For individuals accustomed to maintaining control over every aspect of their lives, your departure represents a significant disruption. It's a disconcerting experience for them, prompting feelings of insecurity and vulnerability. Despite their initial facade of importance and affection, upon your return, you're left feeling like a stranger in their presence. Let's zoom in on a seemingly small scenario and unveil its significance within a broader context. The moment you recognize that you must take a stand because this individual poses a threat to your well-being, the stakes become clear. It's about safeguarding yourself, your loved ones, and your overall health. A narcissist resembles an eternal child trapped in an adult's body, forever frozen in a state of emotional immaturity. Though they may have physically aged, their psyche remains arrested in development. Yet, they've mastered the art of manipulation, swiftly learning how to manipulate situations to their advantage. In their presence, you often find yourself assuming the role of a parent, guiding and nurturing them through life's challenges. At times, they adopt a posture of authority, admonishing you as if you were a wayward child. Conversely, they exhibit moments of clinginess, craving your constant attention and care. They demand your support and understanding, yet fail to reciprocate when you're in need. Like a petulant child, they throw tantrums and lash out when denied immediate gratification or when their desires are curbed. Their behavior is paradoxical. They mistreat you while assuming you'll always remain by their side, akin to a parent's unwavering commitment to their offspring. It's an unsettling dynamic wherein they lean heavily on you for sustenance, while simultaneously trapping you in a toxic relationship. Witnessing someone who outwardly appears to have their life together regress into childish behavior is jarring. Conversely, they struggle to cope with your independence, or the notion of you seeking respite, even briefly, from their sphere of influence. Leaving for good is never easy, especially when the narcissist has mastered the art of playing the victim, deflecting blame onto their past or circumstances beyond their control. Yet, it's crucial to recognize that their own decisions have led them into this turbulent situation. Despite any hardships they faced, it's their choices that have sown chaos in their lives. Walking away from someone you once viewed as a hero or a person in need of rescue is incredibly challenging. You've poured your heart and soul into the relationship, making departure one of the toughest decisions you'll ever make. However, prioritizing your well-being over maintaining a toxic bond is imperative. While the narcissist may react with bewilderment and confusion, akin to a child caught off guard, your self-preservation must take precedence. Though you may harbor deep care for them, akin to familial affection, it's crucial to discern that this sentiment isn't genuine love. Sacrificing your own happiness to fulfill their whims and ensure their perceived security isn't sustainable in the long run. Narcissists harbor a deep-seated fear of abandonment, often resorting to manipulative tactics to retain control over those who care for them. They may preemptively disclose your departure to others, striving to maintain a semblance of authority. Their behavior post-separation can manifest in various ways, from lashing out and deflecting blame to withdrawing into a state of despondency until they find a replacement. Upon finding a new partner, they flaunt them like a prized possession, proclaiming their newfound superiority over you and their certainty that this person will never abandon them. Despite your departure, they may persistently attempt to re-establish contact, unable to fathom the reality of your departure and clinging to the belief that their current companion will never truly abandon them. So, let's move on from the big split. If they left you, it was probably because they knew you were smart enough to leave them first. But let's get one thing straight. Narcissists may seem cold, but you can still talk to them. Deep down, they're actually pretty weak. Some people feel so bad that they think about putting their lives stop. They are aware that this problem is very bad for everyone involved, including them. I'm not telling you to feel sad for them or stay with them, even if it means hurting your own health. But it is important to know how harmful narcissistic relationships are and make decisions that keep you safe. When they come back to try to get you to do what they want, it's because they think they own you. Most likely, something else is going wrong in their lives, and they want you to fix it. A lot of people don't fully understand what narcissism is or why these people act the way they do. This may sound strange.